morning to all. Today we are going to learn about 8th class lesson Energy from the Sun. We live on the earth full of diversity. Different kinds of diversity features are there. Temperature, hotness, coldness, weather conditions, seasons are there. These are all different kinds of varieties, full of varieties. Different kinds of animals are there. Crops, rainfall, weather conditions, and different kinds of landforms are there. These are all full of varieties we are living on the earth. Okay? Right. We'll discuss today about how the sun provides its energy, how it reaches to earth. So why the variation is there? Look at this. Diversity in temperature. Diversity means what it is? Temperature is different places in different. Some places are more, some places are high, some places are low, less temperature. So why these differences are occurred in that? What is diversity in temperature? So this diversity in temperature, we cannot see that. Just we feel. Feel means what? Suppose. How do you know that? Is it cold condition? Is it hot condition? So when the hot sunshine, our skin gets wet at the same time, means perspire, means some sweat is happening on the skin. Perspire, hot weather conditions. Okay, this kind of. Next, we'll discuss some important points. Some places are very cold in the early morning, the warm in the afternoon session. Again, during night, it's very cold. Some places in the morning, very hot conditions. Daytime, full hot conditions. In night time, very cold climate conditions. Mostly occurred in this kind of diversity in desert areas. Similarly, on the moon also, same moon, on the moon surface. Next one, warm in summer and cold conditions in winter season. Cool in hill slopes and warm in the plain areas, warm in the equatorial region, similarly in the polar region, very cold conditions. So why this happening? Why the differences are there? Polar zones, equatorial zone 0 degree, North Pole and South Pole. In that sun rays falls directly on this. Sun rays falls directly on the equatorial region. Mostly hot weather conditions. Sun always in the head, on the head only. Sun rays on the head. So it falls not slanting directly, means 90 degrees angle. So here is the angle of incident is more. So when the angle of incident is more, the temperature is also more. When the Angle of incidence is low, temperature is low only. What it is that angle? Angle of incidence means this kind of, see the sun rays flowing on the North Pole and South Pole, it is slantingly. That's why cold climate conditions are there. Similarly, some of the hill slopes or hill stations, even in the hot summer it is very cold because they are in the height areas. When we move, the temperature decreases. Every 1000 aspect, the temperature decreases at 6 centigrade Celsius. Every 1000 degrees. When we move, every 1000 meters ascent, the temperature decreases 6 centigrade Celsius decrease, will decrease in the temperature. So that's why hill areas or hill stations, the temperature is very cold even in the summer season also. You know that in Arku Valley during summer visits, very cold climate conditions means not very hot. Similarly, hill stations like Simla, Ooty, Nainital, Jammu and Kashmir, Srinagar. So these are all during summer also very cold climate conditions. Here it is cool in hill slopes and warm in the plain areas. At the same time, warm climate conditions are appear in plain areas, plain. Okay. Next one. Summer season means warm only. You know that during summer there is no rains, hot weather conditions. During winter season, sunshine is less, daytime is less. That's why cold climate conditions. And during that summer season, daytime is more, hot weather conditions, full sunshine. There is no weather conditions, means hot weather conditions only. There is no cold weather conditions. That's why summer season very hot. Daytime also more. Next one is warm in the equatorial region. Just now I explained. Warm in the equatorial region and cold in the polar regions. Cold climate conditions occurred in polar zones, North Polar and South Polar. Due to sunrise falls slantingly, slant. Means angle of incidence is less. Angle of incidence is less only. Means temperature also less only. Understand it is? Here it is. Next one. Next topic. Solar energy and sun rays. In this topic we will discuss insolation and terrestrial radiation. So these are all discussed in the topic. Okay? Let us continue that. What is the principal source of energy? The sun is the principal source of energy on the Earth's surface. Understand? The sun is a powerful house which generates and gives out of energy in the form of light and heat. So this energy constantly emitted by the sun only. Emitted means release. It is also called as solar radiation. Similarly, our body gives out of energy. It's called as radiation. And next, the energy produced by the sun comes to us in the form of sun rays. What includes in the sun rays? Mainly some of the important rays there. What are that? Like UV rays, ultraviolet rays, and radio waves, and X-rays. So these are some several kinds of dangerous races also, including in the form of energy or sun rays. These dangerous rays does not reach us to the earth's surface because it obstructed by, means stopped by one layer. Do you know it is? What is that? Yes, ozone layer. It is nearly 36 kilometers away from the earth's surface. Understand it is? Right. So next important point, how much time the sun rays take to reach our earth's surface? Nearly 8 minutes only. 8 minutes. Understand? What is the average distance between earth and sun? It is 149.5 million square kilometers. Next important one, insolation. What is insolation? The solar radiation received on the surface of the earth. It's known as insolation. Actually, the amount of solar energy received on the ground level is only small portion only. So what remaining? That energy reflected back to the atmosphere. Understand it is how much reflected back to the atmosphere? 1/3% of solar energy is reflected back to the atmosphere. Earth's atmosphere only. And a very important question is, you observe that how the atmosphere is heated up by, do you know, by the sun or by the earth? Which one it is? By the earth only. Very, very important it is. So Earth's atmosphere is heated up by our earth only. Means radiation from the earth. It is called as terrestrial radiation. Observe that picture. Insolation and terrestrial radiation. Insolation means coming from the incoming solar radiation. Terrestrial radiation means our earth releases some heat into the atmosphere. It's known as terrestrial radiation. Observe clearly this picture. Insolation. See that yellow color. 51% of insolation received by earth and oceans, and next 16% of insolation received by atmosphere only, not reaches to our earth. And next it is 3% of insolation received by clouds. And do you observe this? How much insolation absorbed by our earth surface and oceans? 51%. In that also reflected back to the atmosphere again. See this. Reflected back to the atmosphere, it is 6% only. And next, reflected by the clouds, it is 20%. And reflected from the earth, it is 4%. And remaining clouds, scattered and reflected by clouds, it is 20%. Clouds scattered and reflected by clouds, it is 20%. And next, sun reflected by sun directly to space, it is 6%. And next one it is, and clouds and atmosphere, means it reflected by the clouds and atmosphere totally into the space, it is 64%. Observe picture clearly. Understand it is. And very important one, you know, waves are two types, short waves and long waves. In that insulation, do you know that insulation? So insulation, it is means incoming solar radiation through short waves only. Understand? And next, terrestrial radiation. You know the terrestrial radiation, it is through the long waves. It is very important. And right, observe this table. If the insolation received at the equator, means 0 degree latitude, means in that 0 degree, it is 100 units. Then see the differences. At 90 degrees, means what? North pole and south pole. In that 40 units are received only 40 units. And next, at 66.5 degrees, polar circles, means what it is? Arctic circle and Antarctic circle. At the places received 50 units of insolation only. And next, at 45 degrees, northern Japan, in that places 75 units are received in that insulation. Understood all? Now discuss about greenhouses. Why the greenhouses constructed in the European places only? Generally, European places are very cold places. They try to grow crops everywhere by creating that artificial environment for plants. Because in that, why they are constructed that artificial environment for the plants? Because in that cold regions, European places are mostly cold regions, only summers are very less and winters are long. So that's why. So thus they grow vegetables and fruits in very cold regions by building greenhouses. So what is the use of these greenhouses? So these buildings with transparent roofs and walls which allow heat to come in but not escape, only incoming heat, but it does not escape. Understand it is? So that's way. So they are create marshy environments for crops like paddy by irrigating the fields. Okay. And next, here we discuss about land and water contrast. So what is this land and water contrast? So depending on the land and depending on the water also, the temperature distribution is differences there. Understand? Do you know that which is considered as a good conductor of heat, land or water? Yes, land only. You can observe, land gets heated and cooled quickly only. Means what it is? Land gets heated quickly and cools down quickly. But similarly, the oceans, when compared to oceans, the oceans are different. Ocean means water bodies. Water bodies takes up time to heat and similarly takes to time more to cool down. What do you understand? Land gets heated and cooled quickly, whereas oceans take more time to get heated and cooled also. Understood all? And next important one, it is angle of incidence. What is this angle of incidence? The angle of incidence means which an incident line, means that particular sun ray or sunrise, makes with perpendicular to the surface at the point of incident. The sun rays falls at the about 90 degrees on the equator. They falls slantingly towards the poles. This is called angle of incidence. Observe now, 90 degrees angle, where it is? It appears in the equator, and similarly at the poles, angle of slantingly only. Sunrise falls slantingly. This is called as angle of incidence. Understand? And observe that what is global warming? Why it is occurred that temperature? Observe in that atmosphere, several gases there. What are that several gases? Oxygen also there, carbon dioxide there, nitrogen also there. So in that some other several small gases also there, argon, neon, radon, these are all. In that mostly important gas carbon dioxide, oxygen also important only, but carbon dioxide. Account this topic means global warming related. Some gases like carbon dioxide, it prevents the radiation of heat from the earth. Very important question it is. Which gas prevent the radiation of heat from the earth? It is carbon dioxide only. If the carbon dioxide percentage increased in the atmosphere, then the temperature increases, means the heat balance are different in the atmosphere. Means if the carbon dioxide percentage increase in the atmosphere, the temperatures are increased, it leads to that causing raising the temperatures, increase the global temperatures. This is called as global warming only. And at the same time, when the temperature increases, mostly cold regions, Antarctica, in that Antarctica region also the ice melts, and under the Antarctica continent, inside of that, some of the important gas, dangerous gas, it is methane. Methane comes out when the ice melts. Methane comes out to the atmosphere. So in that way, carbon dioxide and methane, these two are dangerous gases. So due to these two, it leads to that global warming only. Understand it is? Scientists also observed recently about that methane gas. Methane gas also dangerous only. So in that way, we have to maintain the heat balance in the atmosphere. How do we maintain that heat balance in the atmosphere? So that means we should not pollute the atmosphere. We should not damage. We should plant some trees. So these are some measures. We have to take some measures to maintain this heat balance. It's not only depending on the governments, for all people and all the world people only. Understand? So thank you for watching my channel. మరిన్ని వీడియోస్ కోసం మా ఛానల్ని సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి, షేర్ చేయండి, అండ్ ఫైనల్లీ క్లిక్ ఆన్ ది బెల్ ఐకాన్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.